Amazing.
I made a video. I made a video. Oh my god! I want you guys to see the video. Wait.
What video?
What did you? Where are you going?
Browser?
I thought Jing will not come the meeting today, so I used that uniform home.
Hey, wait. Sorry. I know this isn't efficient on time, but you guys got to see this. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. It's a good community sort of thing. Okay, check out this video. So it's kind of like the end of dinner. But we ran into some friends today, and wait, let me get the focus here, right? I'm actually kind of new to doing this myself, so I'm not really sure. But, okay, so we met Ola, and Ola happened to know about our company. That was pretty cool. How did you find out about Bukit Vista, by the way?
Well, I've been living in the area for around 4 years, and I've just been hearing about this company which rents villas, and I heard that it's like one of the best villas in Bukit. So, yeah, and I've been doing myself. Want to ask guys to maybe management development.
Okay, fantastic. Well, okay, that's good. That's a positive sign in this world. Okay, well, wait, did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I was having dinner last night at this spot, and this girl came up to me and said, "Do you know? Are you part of Bukit Vista?" I go, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh my God, that's amazing! I have a villa. I'd like you to manage it for me." I was like, "Really?" And yeah, they totally knew about us, and they said we were awesome, and we're like the best. So that was pretty cool. It's working. Our brand is well known.
Where is the location?
It's called The Place with No Name.
I know. The restaurant.
Yeah.
Sir, yeah.
Yeah, The Place with No Name. So Eka and I were making a vlog yesterday, and then we stopped there for dinner. And then this lady next to us said, "You're Bukit Vista," and then we had a conversation. It was really cool. It was very very by the way. Okay, anyways, that's it. Let me go back to the other side. Okay.
Cool. Okay, we start to let me set the trailer.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. All right, that's it. Yeah. I just wanted to show you guys that. That was pretty inspirational.
Yes. Good branding. Okay, we jump to the initiative. So the first is CMC.1 for CSE program. I believe there is some update from me and Andre. Okay, maybe start from you, Andre. Could you give the update?
Yeah, thank you. So actually, we already have property that already socialized and been training. It is like UVH Pendopo 26 Utara Hyata and the list that I wrote there. So our step now is just waiting them to send them video. But I think in this particular case, we found friction that they're in their own circumstance, so they cannot really send their video like faster than before. But I already mentioned like example for Villa Kel. I always send reminder from Nadine and Rian like 2 days, like, "Hey sir, what's about your video? What about your video?" Keep doing the reminding to our partner that already training to send the video. And about this program, I also and you also invite a new property owner. It is from Kubunyang, Breeze Hayden, Dream Breeze, Sri Village, and Guyana. And the last update that I want to share you that I will also follow up some done CSC that haven't got the logo in a hero photo, because I saw that some of the Despacito listing is not all got the CSC photo, so I'm just going to check it and make sure that content, mostly I discussed with Gani, put it on every link of property that already done with CSC. I think this all the update for now. So my very next step is to implement this to all of the property in squad 1, squad 2, region 1, 2, 3, 4. But I think it might take step, and also might really takes time, because sharing the benefit of this is really important about this. And also, I also saw that a lot of property management in Bali are now showing also about this in their Instagram, in their page of website. They're showing that this property is now certified. I think we can also do this in our company, and showing that we are now having a certification program to the property to make sure that you're safe, or we at least we do preventive ways from the coronavirus. That's all the update from me, guys.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
you're reading something.
Yeah, thank you, Andre. Yes, there is also some owner that call me that in Uluwatu, also in Bingin, the local government is allowed to open the properties, and then can what's called can welcoming the guests again. So like Asri Village call me, hi, we can open start on after on the 10 June. So what is the strategy of this? But we still afraid about the COVID. No, but no, I said no worries. We have this program, so they are really interesting actually for this preventive the program. So I this is some owner that I invited for the socialization part first on the Thursday, because they have some times on this Thursday, but on the Monday until Wednesday they are still busy. So yeah, we'll update. The next update will be after Thursday. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Tandy. I believe also that mentioning that this is also safe for the staff is important, because we are also concerned about them, not only about the guests.
Yeah, yeah. Because yeah, most I had tell that this is like a two ways, right? So it's not for the guests, but for our security safety as well.
Yeah, actually, now I'm just telling you, on our partner in Jogja are start to reopening their property, and I think this is also a good chance. Like if they're afraid or they don't know what to do, what's the newest update on industry of tourism like this? I think this is a good step to put this program in also in Jogja property like that. Yeah, to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Andre, I've actually flagged a new discussion topic today about the owner motivation. How to I saw that it's a little bit hard sometimes to motivate owners to respond or to work accordingly. I'd like to open a discussion on that. So I've already put that topic on our discussion management, and we can cover that after the scrum.
Okay, thank you, Jeng.
Mhm.
Okay, so the next is CMC2 for the bigger training. So I believe Rian is already met the training for the Puri Sabina, but he's not updated yet on here. But I had mentioned Rian on this card. I will follow up by today. By today for Rian to update it. Is it the training is already done, or there are still some friction? Okay, thank you. And then the next is CMC.3. So CMC.3 is I had done to what's called to make had the simulation with the Taman Kutuh, and then the Puri Kelapa. I attached also some photos of that. So they are already fluent for using the bigger, and then how now they have the procedure for the check-in to upload the photo of passport of the guest to the bigger for the database. So they are understand why this is important, the database. And then I have set some the material as well to the NH resident, Maharaja, and Despacito. I also attach the message, and then the Maharaja is actually interesting, and actually he also have the plan for the check-in process, but it's the manual way. So I will train for this is digital way, so it's more easier and more not take any long time. Okay, so this is will I will have the simulation tomorrow for the Maharaja, Despacito, and NH, and then but Maharaja still sometimes if they can join tomorrow, they will tell me as well. I will update it tomorrow after the simulation. Thank you. Okay, next to the CMH.1.1 from Rafik.
Okay, thank you. So this is good Mipila and Pondok kita already sent the video. So they are ready to use our hospitality standard, everything. They will print it. That is the most important. They will print it and put on the front desk. So what we need to monitor first is the video call, and then start with next week we'll do on chat inspection. That is the most important because on the MOU we promised them to give a hospitality standard. We promised them on MOU. So now we as a property manager give them the hospitality standard, the cleanliness standard, and we revisit them every day, every week to check all the standard. And as you know, all the guests stay at my villa didn't mention about the cleanliness. All good, the staff is good. So we have 6 guests over there. Maybe you can check the review over there. I will put in the review later. Over there, all good. And we have 99 guests today. We have on September, and today I have inspection also at Mipila. She will stay for 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, she is a student.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great student. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Actually,
is
yeah.
the
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, for the
Yeah.
update. Okay. Next, from Rian, I will see the card at Rafik. Already, the last update is 5 June. Already put 2 updates below. Please update your action here. I will start to
I think the screenshot. So,
the screenshot. Let me check. The screenshot is the last is at 3 June. Gemvilla Management. Hmm.
because I said the Rian to update the action here regarding the distribution of the video. So we don't have the update of the distribution. Maybe Andre, can you mention Rian one more time regarding the action for the video call forwarding?
Okay.
Thank you, Andre.
Okay. I will also will have a quick chat with Ian as well for asking for this update. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think that's pretty much it for the initiative. Is there any new initiative that you want to discuss? Okay. All good. We jump to the discussion management. Okay. Open the discussion management. Okay, everyone can see my screen. Okay, so for discussion, we agreed to take 2 topics every day. So the first topic will be, this is from Jing, for motivation for owner, get them to respond and take better care. How? And then we might need to get the M to increase the branding of the practice. Okay, for the motivation, could you give us some explanation, sir?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Tendi, for the opportunity. So, what I'm looking at is I see that one of the big frictions that community managers face and revenue managers face is, I think, fundamentally, we know our programs are good, right? We believe that COVID safe cleaning, digital check ins, these programs are innovative programs that will make owners better, more ranked higher in a marketplace, and it's generally beneficial to them. So we know that, right? But the question is, how do we actually get owners to become motivated enough to care about this? So how do we get them to sort of like eat their vegetables so that they grow up to be strong? And I want to just kind of discuss this with everyone here, and let's see if there's what ways can we motivate, or how can we get more efficiency in motivating the community?
Okay, thank you, sir. So start from Andre. What do you think? How to make the owner more motivated?
The thing that I understand how to make them motivated is keep a good communication, and also I'm just understand to keep a good communication and showing the benefit of something. So that's the point of how can we get their motivation in this particular case. Absolutely, when we are in the same company.
Okay. From this is from Andre. What about you, Om Rafik? Did you agree with Andre to tell the benefit and then keep the good communication, or do you have something to add?
Okay, thank you. So first point, I'm agree with Andre regarding
Okay.
the keep a good relationship, and the second one is regarding the what is called the benefit, what they get from this one. The second one, the big aware from me is why they this is before how, and we need to know why they didn't show up the webinar, why didn't the 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 conversation that I made to all the partner at Luatu at Changu, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. If I open with no guest, whether like that is the why. And we need to know how we need to strike through that uh, ketakutan, what is the fear list,
The
right?
yeah.
For example, I'm afraid to open because of that this. So what you need to give them explanation what to erase this fear list. So same like yes, last night I have a good conversation with Pondok Kita and Kakol, and we are ready again, Rafik. So they have energy again because they what is called they get information, they will open the new normal and everything. They're ready and they're ready to join the webinar. Absolutely, they were ready because past month they they stuck there, man. If I open, if I join, it's like same like apa sih pasrah, what is pasrah, sir? What is pasrah?
In vain, useless.
Yeah, it's pasrah. It's I don't know what to do. So same like Pondok kita is sell this one. They don't have time to have a webinar. So they try to keep struggle to make money from another. But now they're ready. That is my point. Sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's more about the feel, yeah, the feel of the
Yes.
guy, of
Yeah.
the partner, of the situation. So maybe last 2 months they feel like s- still like because maybe in their area there's almost the property is closed as well, so they also want to close, right? So but if most of the property in Canggu is open, maybe they will open as well, I think, as well, but the situation there as well. Okay, so thank you, Om Rafik. And then I think from my side is how to get them respond better and then take better care. Like yesterday, I have conversation with Asir Filet on the call. So uh, I tell them the benefit for the benefit of our program, right? But beside that, they also interesting why I should do this, why I should open. Because yeah, maybe might be some property owner have loan and they need money on revenue, but some owner is don't have any loan, so they are like want to keep more safe, and then rather than have something problem. So yeah, I tell that why. So actually I tell like so this is actually the right time for you to learn and then prepare for the new normal. So when the new normal is already applied, you are not late for that. So for example, like every property is already got gas, but you still learn how to the COVID safe and everything, and then you are late. you will be in the behind, right? So I tell like that, and then oh, well, it's like a slowly they understand, and then oh yeah, I think that's right, what you said, because uh, I don't know also, it's like no one tell me so about this, so yeah, so that's why we invite you to some webinar, right? So yeah, but for the webinar, uh, why sometimes I not join or something, and then she said like yeah, because I've read in the big forum, and then maybe the material is too high or too complicated, and then I don't understand, and I will embracing, right? So because mostly in the like in the Uluwatu, not all the owner is like a high school, right? Sometimes it's just only like seniors, high school, not until university or something. So but they most like enjoyable to talk like personal, like yeah, like to me maybe Rafik with yeah, and the community personal is they more open than in the webinar. So I got some insight. Oh yeah, why like, and then how I can open, when I open what I should do. Yeah, so there's like oh yeah, I understand. Oh, I really want to more interesting than they said on the webinar. Sometimes they afraid to open the mic and something. So actually yeah, there is good maybe for the scalable, but to get more deep of the owner, it's not too. So yeah, I think is if I, for example, like I if I send them invitation on the group, there is not much response. But when I DM like a personal message to the owner, like oh yeah, thank you, how are you Tandy, like when you come here, like that. So it's more conversation in the personal message than on the group, because there's a lot of people. So they just okay, thank you, just like that, sir. Okay, I think that's from me. What do you think, sir, about this, about that?
Okay, thank you for expressing your thoughts. Everybody, this is really good. Excellent understanding and excellent direction setting. I think you guys are heading in the right place to look for where the root causes are. Right, you're looking for the root causes of this attendance issue that we're having. Hey, welcome in, buddy.
Hello, Bas Bayu.
Buddy, what did you do? You look like you're in the Matrix. You have like a green filter on.
Turn your light on.
Okay, but getting back to this, everyone has actually, Tendi, let me reflect on what you've said. You're absolutely right. I think sometimes we have to do things that don't scale in order to get, let's say, owner trust, owner engagement, and that is good. I think that is necessary. But what we're trying to do, remember, long term, is not to go back to that culture. We're trying to move it to a culture where owners are more comfortable coming to webinars, where they're more. We don't want to. Let's say when you were a kid, you ate oatmeal or milk, right, all the time. The intention is not to feed you milk because you like milk. The intention is to feed you milk and get you ready to eat other kinds of foods along the way. So in this analogy, I think it's just about, okay, we can go and get in touch on a one-to-one basis, but how do we get them more comfortable with coming to a webinar? How do we get them comfortable with not feeling overwhelmed with the knowledge? I think maybe to go over like, oh, this is what's on the webinar typically and why it's good. And this is where you don't need to even ask questions, but you can listen to other people ask questions. And nobody sees your face because, there's there's a lot of people, so nobody will see you. So it's even less embarrassing than when you actually show up in person. So if we can drive that behavior, then Tendi, you're helping others help themselves, right? And eventually, I think the intention is this, Tendi. Eventually, to lead, let's say, a discussion, we won't need to take. Eventually, this is the idea. Rafik, Tendi, Andre. Eventually, it should be where it's so easy. It's just super easy. It's like effortless. Like, let's say we can get an intern to lead a webinar and they just tell everybody read off a script and that's it. And what you guys do is you handle essentially systemic problems, right? Like the problems that happen inside the system. Once a system is set up, the system takes care of itself. All you guys have to do is just fix the system when it doesn't work. So right now, in old community management, we go and we fix the problem when it doesn't work, right? We don't fix the system. So this is an evolution of getting us to fix the system. In regards to what motivates people, I think we need to understand. Yeah, for some, it's like us. It's time management. So Tendi explained that a little bit. That some people, they don't see an urgency in doing it now because things aren't very busy. But what happens when things start becoming busy? Will you be ready? So I think that was a good way to make owners understand that there is an urgency in getting that part right. And I think what Andre said is about showing benefits. And this is where it really comes into play, right? Showing benefits and maintaining communication. Benefits are different for each person, right? Some people see benefits as I need to make money in an absolute way. That's like Ibu Lily. She doesn't really kind of like think about it. She just, I need cash. Some people think about benefit in terms of how am I doing relative to somebody else, right? And some people feel motivation from how am I doing compared to somebody else. I think you'll need to understand that, Andre, in order to, like, let's say, craft your message correctly. If you are, let's say, dealing with a certain owner and they're not responding, maybe you can show them, hey, by the way, your 3 nearest neighbors are all getting bookings now. Would you like to get bookings? Right? And that goes, yeah, sure, I certainly would. And if you do, then maybe you should come to my COVID safe cleaning thing because they all have COVID safe certification. And they go, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So part of community management, I think, is understanding essentially the types of behaviors and the type of motivations. And I think, Rafik, you know that too, right? You know that different owners have different motivation levels. Tendi understands that as well. Some people have taken loans, so they have hot money and they need to get this money repaid. Some people have not taken loans, they have colder money, and they're not in such a rush. But whether they're in a rush or not, the market is going to reward certain people first, and these people will become the new leaders, right? We know that. We understand that. But how to convince other people? You have a few tools. You can use a leaderboard, okay? Leaderboards were not made for Bukit Vista benefit. It was made to motivate partners. You can say, hey, look, you used to be number 1 in Canggu in revenue. Now you're number 15. Do you want to get back up to number 1 again? So that would kind of like, oh, okay, all right, maybe that climb up. You can show them people that were behind them that are now ahead of them. That usually motivates people in a very direct way because people like to think that they're at this level in their community, right? And when they see that they're changed places with somebody that was behind, they often feel the motivation to step up again. So think about leaderboards. Think about like creating a sense of urgency through showing the examples that do work, and that should get you the correct motivation in most cases, right? And if that doesn't work, get closer to the owner. Like get it to where they cannot avoid speaking with you. You've called them, you've visited them, so they have to understand, right? You're already in front of their face. So, okay, good stuff. I think you guys understand essentially the source of root causes, and that part is super important. But also zoom out to think systematically also as well. We know that getting close to owners helps, but let's not always get close to owners whenever there's a problem to fix. Let's think about how we can get to a system whereby owners are thinking about how to fix their own problems. And think about this, Rafik, Tendi, think about how could you possibly delegate this to a new person, an absolutely new person, and not have to worry whether or not they have the correct skill or understanding to handle that problem. Once you've done that, you have a system. You have thought about all the things that are difficult and you've removed them, and you can make it super easy for even a beginner to manage. Okay? All right, cool.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, that's good. Conclusion also from Jing, and then yeah, I agree as well for the system that we have to make even for the new person, because yeah, for example, like we are not every day available, right? So
Yeah.
if there's any problem or something that owner need help, so everyone can taking care of that.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I think that's good for the vision of the community as well. So yeah, it might be we have to talk about more deep about the system. So
Definitely.
I think we have to start soon for the make the system for the everyone. Okay, I think yeah, tomorrow or this week we can starting maybe from the small first, small idea, then yeah we start.
Put it as an initiative.
Yes, to make the, sure, sure, sure. Okay, sir. Okay, I think that's already for everyone. This insight. So, if there's any discussion for this topic again, Andre, Rafik, Jing. Okay, so we already understand, yeah, how to motivate and then make them more understand and then take better care for them. Okay, thank you. Then next to the second topic of the second topic. This is from Jing as well about the Villa Capung and short-term partnership. Okay, could you explain this, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed this weekend, speaking of systems, right?
Yeah.
I noticed this weekend that there was a few incidents that happened at Village Chapung, and I want to explain what is happening. I'm not sure that this has been clarified in HAR, our community, yet, so I think it's important to explain. Village Chapung at the moment is a short-term partnership. We're not looking to do long-term with them. The reason why we created a listing was so that we could start getting inquiries for a property that I believe is highly sellable. Okay? So, what I've instructed Diba to do at the time was to create the following. I asked her to make an instant book listing that was available to book for any length of time, but with high amounts of signaling to indicate in the hero photo, in the title, and in the description that it is for monthly rental only, because that's what we had agreed with the actual owner. Now, the owner in this particular case is not a simple owner either. It's quite complex. It's Keith and Johan. They're a gay couple. Keith is essentially managing it on behalf of Johan, who is the owner. Keith is, I think, the boyfriend, and he's also the owner's representative. Keith is super cautious about everything. He's super cautious, like extremely cautious. The reason why is because Keith used to delegate his thing with the villa to Bali Luxury Villas, which was their previous management company. Okay. So given, I think, a different owner, we might have had more flexibility on deals like the ones with the 15 days that came in June, July, right? But given the current circumstance and such, we don't necessarily have that. So here's basically the layout. I want you guys. Andre, are you the one taking the notes, or who's secretary at the moment? Okay. I need you also to write this in that the conditions are that it was basically it was instant book any amount of time, but signaling in the hero photo, in the title and the description that is for monthly rental only. Okay. So we put up all the signals saying that this is for monthly rental only. All right. Here is the intention, everyone. Okay. So, and please, Andre, also put in that the signaling, the header, the photos, the description, the title say monthly rental only. The things have changed, everyone, since the before time. So before in Bukit Vista 3, when things were really busy, we had problems with overbookings, right? Because like sometimes things would get overbooked. We do not have that problem anymore. We have the opposite problem now. We have under inquiries. We have not enough inquiries. So an overbooking is actually a good thing, to be truthful. An overbooking means it's an opportunity to find another supply that can take that guest, right? Because that could be essentially how we find a long-term partnership too. So the current moment, like let's say this is done a certain way, right, to attract a long-term guest. It's okay. Let me just allow everyone to digest this. The listing in its current form. Does anybody have any comments about it? Why did we leave it for instant book? Why is it available to book any given amount of time? And why does it have high amounts of signaling in the title, listing description, and photo? Does anybody have any comments or questions about that? Yes, Tendi.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's from what's called the revenue and marketing is good for the instant book, but I think on the HCR side we need to get the clear information, because if that's instant book and then monthly rental only, Is it the listing is have a minimum day booking, or they can the guest still can booking like either like a 1 night or 2 night? Then after that we have to cancel the guest and or move the guest as well. Then yeah, the guest will be mad to us, right? Because
Understood.
the plane and everything. Then yeah, we have to dealing with Airbnb also call everything. So yeah, that's I think that's also the yeah some friction also on the HR.
Okay, I'm not sure if I mentioned this already in the HAR discussion, but this is something we need to currently manage at the moment. Okay, so here's the philosophy behind this. That right now it's not too busy in HAR. How many chickens do we have every day? Very little, right? So what we want to do at this moment is we want to get monthly bookings. That part is set. So when somebody gets through and accidentally books for 15 days or something, I think the question right now is how did they do it? Did they instant book or did we pre-approve them, or what actually happened there? It should be where the only case where somebody accidentally books is an instant book. It should not be where we forgot to tell them that this is actually available for 30 days. So I think that part I need HAR to understand. The second part is that this could be an opportunity. Okay, this could be an opportunity because there are other similar villas in the area right now that have similar setup to Villa Chapung, and we could potentially move them to a different villa. Most villas are empty right now, and I think this actually creates a feedback signal back to Wayana for can you please help me find a alternative property for this particular type of unit. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little bit of let's say a little bit more agile right now. Part of where I believe the market is going, everybody, is that we can see, Rafik, where do you see the market going? Are we going to get day by day bookings? Or are we going to get longer term bookings?
Start from today, you mean, sir?
Yeah, starting from when things open up. Do you expect there to be longer term bookings or short bookings?
Both, sir.
A little bit of both, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Andy, what do you think?
Same, sir.
Okay, a little bit of both, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we need to think of a way to make this manageable for HAR. Actually, I should have had this discussion in HAR, not actually here. Here is a little bit different. This is related to owner side. So maybe I'll have that discussion at HAR actually. But this was the idea, right? For in terms of how we manage a community of people, the way you manage it is we need to have the listings available, not for only a 30-day booking. Why? Why do we not do that, Rafik? Oh, good. All right, Andre, why do we not set up a 30-day minimum stay?
To make it more, what is to say? To show the ranking, I think.
Okay. All right.
Related to ranking, I think.
Right. Okay, that's very, very accurate, actually. Let's go to Tendi. Tendi, why do we not set a minimum of 30-day stay?
Because we need to get the supply first to get the any demand.
Okay. Okay, let's go over to Rafik. Why do we not? If we set a 30-day minimum stay, then we won't have any of these situations anymore, right? Where people accidentally instant book. But why do we not do that?
I'm agree with Andre. That's the first one. And then the second one, to if we have a problem, for example, with one property is not taking 15 or 10 days because it's only for 30 days, we have a chance to move them to another property. So we put if empty, we put going there, right? So
You got it.
that is
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So we can't get ranking if we set a 30-day minimum because we've done that before. And every time we do that, it gets no inquiries. It gets no traffic even. Because most people, when they search on Airbnb, they put in lengths of days between this and this, right? So the only way we can actually get seen as a listing is to have something that, a listing that shows that it can take any variable lengths of days, right? And then we need to put a lot of signaling on it that we do not take any bookings less than 28 days. So that after somebody sees it, they go, oh, okay, all right, let me discuss, right, with the host about whether or not we can take it. Because the other thing is also right too. Owners don't know what they want either entirely, right? If you do give them, let's say, a shorter stay, but they agree to pay the full amount, will they take it? Yeah, I think they will, right? They'll probably take it. If I stay for 25 days, but I still pay the 30-day rate, do you expect the owner to say no to that? They probably will. They probably say, okay, yeah, I'll take it, right? Even though it's not fulfills a month. So we need to allow some flexibility right now just to be able to see what the marketplace is doing. We don't have bookings right now, but Rafik, Tendi, we have information. We know that people want to book it for 2 days. We know that people want to book it for 15 days, okay? Information is key. Now we know what type of properties that market builders should look for to fulfill that gap. Now we can go and take that deal and try to find Villa Ali Agung next door to Chapung and ask them, do you want to take a 15-day booking for this amount during July? And they could say yes. And then we have, presto, we have the booking, right? So that's currently why we do it. And that's the way that we are going to manage short-term partnerships. These are not long-term partnerships because we don't really want to go through and deal long-term with them. We're just looking to get 1 to 2 bookings throughout the crisis. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there what do you think, Andre and Rafik? Is that clear for you also? Okay, then. Okay, I think we can forward it to the HAR as well, and then explain Nadine and then Cynthia as well about this. Okay, I think we had already discussed about 2 topics, so also there's time limitation as well. So I think I just need one more time asking Bayu. Do you have any something to discuss, Bayu?
Not from my side. Actually, the one for the hospitality standard actually. So I think we have the update here, but it's not answering the question yet. So I'm still having this question actually. So I'm wondering if you can help me answer this. So the first one is how and when. That's we already done it. So I think that's answered. But the next question. Oh, this is by the way, this is about the setting the hospitality standard to partner. So the next question is the partner actually understand what we teach and how we know that? So do we have any tests for that?
Over to Rafik, I guess.
Hello, Bayu.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Jadi, so this one, so this hospitality standard and also dinner standard already give to Pondok Kita and Kencana and also Mipila. That is my MPP first. That is the first one. The second one is they already print out and they will print out and then put it on the desk. That is, I cannot, because if we refer to video, I cannot see all the cleanliness by you. That is the problem. I need to go to there to inspection, right?
No, it's not about that yet. We don't test about that yet. We're not in that step yet. So the first step is when we teach them, how we make sure that they understand what we teach. After they understand, we can check whether they clean or not. But before we check or before we expect them to do that, how we make sure that they already understand. So it's like in school, right? So in school, you've been taught math, for example. Then the teacher teach you math, and then the teacher do tests, and then say that, oh, okay, you already understand math. And then after that, you can work doing math. So this one, we are still in the school step. So from the first one that you done, is the partner understand the standard that we teach, and how we know that they understand about that standard.
The first thing that I mentioned is if they don't understand, they will not send the video by you. That is. So the first one, I give the material right to them, and then if you understand about that, send the video so I can check it. So Mipila and Pondok Kita send the video. So I cannot see the cleanliness and everything based on the video by you. That is the problem.
It's okay. We can do that later. I mean, yeah. Do they understand about the? They know that we will have standard, right? But
Yes.
what standard? Like you teach them how to clean the room, for example.
Mm.
They know that you teach them to clean the room, but what they understand how to clean the room is it the room? What does that mean that it's clean? Is it apa namanya dipel already mopped, or already mopped and dry, or already mopped and then there's no layer of uh,
Air.
apa sih kotoran gitu.
Mm.
So that is the why this is called standard, because we want to make sure that if we say clean and they say clean, it's the same clean. It's not different between us and them. So I think we can invest more in this because we still have time. We don't want to rush them like we teach you have to do this now, like that would make them like Bukit Vista always asking about this, about this, about this. But I think
Yes.
we can teach more,
Yes.
give
I
value.
understand you. First one, and in MOU, we promised them to give the hospitality standard, right? That is the first one. The second one, so we already give the material. But as you know, if we make a video call with them and then I upload it, it's will be long. It's long video by you, right? For example, uh, did you understand to clean the room? For example, can you give the video how to you clean? Will be at least 30 minutes and 45-minute video, right?
Yeah. I think that's pretty short
Yeah,
video.
and then that's why I tell to them after you cleaning all, I need to check the cleanliness. But the problem is I cannot check based on the video is the cleaning, right? So that's why I need to inspection to them. That is only the problem by you. So the material and then the understand is already okay by them, right? It's only infection by me that is the problem by you.
Okay. Okay. So I think to help with that, do you have any objection from the partner? Like I already cleaned this, but it's not clean yet, or something like that.
No, I don't have it.
I think there's a problem if the partner actually understand, they might find some problem like that. Like I already cleaned this, but it's still yellow, for example, or something like that. I think if they ask you about that, that means they really understand about the cleanliness. But if they just if they okay, I understand, I already do. They just want to make you happy, but it's not really understood. I
Yes,
think.
I understand what you mean by you. So that's why if I only doing the video call will be not it's okay, it's like that, right?
Yeah. I think,
Okay, then.
yeah. Actually, oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe to Mr. Jing first.
Vayu, to get to the, let's say, what would you suggest would be the most
Hmm.
effective way to monitor or to ensure
Yeah.
hospitality standards? There's a few ideas. One is through this video inspection, and Rafik has brought up limitations with that. The other is, I guess, trust Rafik and just assume that what Rafik said is correct. The other one is to show up and do an inspection.
Yeah.
I can imagine maybe one more by sending like fake guests or just us doing a random inspection from time to time. Like we put in a guest, but it's not really an actual guest. It's a probe guest, right? That will go and just check to see if everything's up to standard. Um, do you have any suggestions on your side, Bayu, how this can be actually implemented?
Actually, my thought on this program is not really the application yet, but the mindset, because we are in community, right? What we
Uh,
want is not the actual result yet, but the understanding between partners. So if we do this, then we expect some feedback from them,
Ah,
yeah, my stuff already doing this, but it's still something like that. How what should I do? Something like that. So the result is actually a question. We
I get it.
we can check about this the result of the cleanliness later, maybe on HAR or
Yeah,
yeah other division, but not community. But
I get it.
what we check is the relation between community and
I get it. I get it. Okay, I'll give you an example, Rafik Tendi, of something that I saw at Kanha. That is, it's sort of like it's one of those things that might not be on the standard, but let's say anybody who is thoughtful should see it. You know what scaling is, right? On glass, it's that limestone residue that goes on the glass. Kana has a lot of that. It's got a lot of residue on the glass. Um, I don't know how. Let's say if we said because I cleaned it myself, right? So I would know. If you ask me, is it clean? I would tell you, yeah, it's clean. I wiped the whole thing with soap and bleach, and I cleaned it. But if a guest were to see that, do you think that they would feel that it's clean? So I think I get what Buddy's trying to say, that there's different interpretations of what clean means. Even though I think it's clean because I cleaned it, I wiped soap and everything on it. There is still sort of maybe not exactly clean according to, let's say, a visual aspect of it. Okay, so if we are, let's say, pushing our partners, then we should be getting feedback like that, right, Bayu? Is that what?
yeah.
Yeah, they should be saying, "Yeah, I cleaned it. Why are you saying it's not clean?" We should be seeing these differences in opinion. But if we're not seeing differences in opinion, it could be that, yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, it could be that we just all, hey, that's okay, don't worry about it. So
Yeah.
okay, I see that yeah, that is kind of a blind spot that we have at the moment.
Yeah, I think why I bring this up this standard. I think from previous guests, we have a lot of bad review that mention it's not clean, for example. But when we approach the partner or the staff, actually, no, I already clean it. I already mop it already. It's yeah, they will not lie, right? That they really clean the room, but we have different standard of clean, especially between guests and the staff.
Mm, okay. Yeah. I have a suggestion too, actually, for that. Something I noticed the other day. I went to a restaurant, and the restaurant was brand new. And what they did was pretty interesting. They put a TV in the kitchen, and they showed everybody who was cooking the food what the food should look like. And all the food would rotate. So that I think then there is, like, let's say, for example, you're a chef. You can say, "Did you cook the burger?" "Yeah, I cooked it really well. Look at it." But then if you look at it, maybe it's not presented well, or wasn't stacked the right way, or some parts are not quite there. But I think the aspect of creating a unified vision is is something that we can go for. Okay, but I get your point. Your point is valid, actually. Rafik, does that make sense? What Bayu's trying to say?
Yes, sir. But the most important is like this. If I said I don't believe in you, for example, this is I want to make it simple, sir. I want to make it simple. First one is you have a guest house. You have a guest house, and I'll give you material and everything. I cannot go there, right? And then you share a video. Hey, Rafik already cleared it. Oh, I don't believe it. You, blah 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 blah. And what's next,
It's not
right?
it's not whether or not we believe. I think it's more of, do we agree what the end result should be? The standards are essentially where everybody agrees that this is clean, right? You say it's clean, I say it's clean, the guest says it's clean. All three ways says it's clean. I think what we're sort of uncertain of, or what Value's suggesting, is that there could be a situation where we all three of us disagree. Like, we say it's clean, the guest doesn't think it's clean, the staff think it's clean. So in that particular dimension, then the standard has not been reached because there is not a common agreement what clean is. It's not about whether or not we believe whether or not they've done the work. It's, do we agree what "and clean" means, right? A clean room feels like this. It looks like this. Uh, you know, some people, let's say, oh, I'll give you an example. Like, are the sheets clean? Yes, but they have stains on them. but I've washed them already. So should the standard be like the sheets have been washed, or should the standard be like the sheets have no stains on them, right? Different meaning of clean. So on that one, it's not about who believes who. It's just like, can you show me that the sheets don't have any stains on them? Then I believe that it's washed, right? Then I say that it's clean. Bayu, is that what you mean?
Yes, 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 and actually, that is on the HAR side, about that technicality. But on community side is that we we have a platform for owners to learn, uh, we are expecting owner, like, hey, I have a sheet, it's still good, but there's one stain, it's still okay. Then if there's one partner asking us about that,
Yeah.
then community mission is successful.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so Rafik's already done all the standards already, though, right? So
Yeah,
what?
yeah. And we cannot really see this like today, right? We can see that in the next 3 months,
Okay,
for
all right.
example. But
I get it.
I think the goal now is clear, because we are doing this in community. Right? We want to change our image, right? Before the image is we are the, I don't know who, for partners we are very far, right? So we want to make it like, if they have problem, they will come to us to ask for a guide, for example.
Get it, get it. Okay, so they should be coming with more questions and problems rather than
Yeah,
saying things.
like us to Airbnb. Like, if we are getting like a bad review, for example, or something wrong on Airbnb, we will be asking Airbnb, right? Like, what is this happening? What should I do? So that is a successful community.
Okay, okay, get it, get it. Not like we're taking care of everything. Don't worry about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, makes sense, makes sense. All right, so interesting input though, by you. Interesting input. Okay, let's. Okay, let me ruminate on it. Okay, back up to Tendi for sharing.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the insight as well, Mas Bayu, and then Jing, and then Om Rafik as well. So yeah, I think just a little bit conclusion for that. So this is the setting the hospitality standard. It's not in the on the application yet, on the implementation yet, but this is still how to set the mindset of the owner to get a same vision with us, right? The same standard with us, right? So I think what we can do now, like we had trained them like some material about the cleanliness, about the bigger, about the how to be digitize the check-in progress and everything, and then in the time we have to also make sure that they are understand and have a same thinking with us, right? So this is the standard of the check-in, how to handle the guests on check-in, and then they're not like use that as SOP, but that's used for that's used as the understanding, like the SOP is like a step, right? So I agree also the SOP is standard as well, same, but that more insight is it's not about the action but about the feel as well. Like you have to smile. Either if you welcome in the guest with the standard, but there is no smile, no with the good communication, that will be fail as well, right? So it should be both the SOP and then the feel that really understand why I should check in this guest, why I should clean this room, why I should like this. So if they understand with our setting from now, setting up the training and everything, that will be will be getting together. Okay, yeah, I think. I believe Rafik as well is understand, and Andre as understand what it's mean. So we will continue to discuss it maybe tomorrow about this if there is any time. So I think that's it for discussion today. So that's a good and tight discussion. I like it as well. So okay, so I would like to end this discussion, management. And then the next, because will be run out of the time as well. So I will choose the next chairman. The next chairman will be Andre. Sorry, will be Andre, and then the secretaries will be Rian. Okay, and then I believe Andre as well already put on the notes. So I think everyone can just have a look there because we are already run out of the time. I motion to finish this meeting. Do you have a second? Okay, Om Rafik and Jing, thank you so much for today, everyone. That's a good discussion. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
Randy.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Ada meeting jam 2 ya.
Ya, sekarang